What a beautiful day it is here on the Cafety Coast, and I am here today to talk about what we can do to offset our environmental impact and the use of plastic being a type 1 diabetic. Enjoy!
In a dream world, we would live in a plastic-free society where every single person is educated and supported living consciously. As a diabetic, all of our necessary products will be recycled, or better still, have endless use. Our forests full of trees and animals that live amongst them will multiply and flourish. Our rivers and oceans would be pure and clean.
So what can we all do to make sure that we offset our environmental impact being a diabetic? Did you know that 8 million tonnes of plastic gets tipped into our oceans every year? Another interesting fact is that one toilet flush uses 1.6 gallons of water, and a washing machine uses around 14 to 20 gallons. This is huge, right? Now, I don't know about you, but looking at my plastic, especially and when I get all of my medication and all my dexcom bits and pieces, I just notice all the plastic. You know, not only does it come in a plastic container, the actual dexcom is plastic, emergency test strips, plastic, my little needles, plastic, even the packaging that my dexcom arrives in is in plastic. So unfortunately there's not a lot I can really do about that, but what I can do is think about really how I can make a change with everything else in my life. So I thought I'd just give you a little intro as to what I do. So basically, coffee. Let's start with coffee. You know I love coffee. This is a beautiful handmade ceramic keep cup. Yep, take that out with me. I use a bamboo toothbrush, and when you finish you just cut the bristles off, and this goes straight into the recycling. Don't use wipes, they just go into the ocean. Don't use wipes, there's no need for wipes, there's no need for cotton wool. Use a flannel. What is wrong with a good old-fashioned flannel? So I use this to take my makeup off with some coconut oil. Wash my face, wash my body. And I also don't use any plastic bottles for body wash, deodorant, conditioners and shampoos. I actually use the soap bars. There are some really good ones out there. Just make sure that it doesn't contain any palm oil. For my food, I store everything in jars, but I also go to the reuse stores. So what I do is I take my jar along and I fill up, and I don't use plastic. And what amazes me is when you go and get your groceries and you get things like a red cabbage wrapped in plastic. No, just don't bother. Just go somewhere else, go to your local grocery store and pick something up in your hand. You do not have to use the little plastic bags that are provided on the side. I don't get that. There's just no point. Compost your food, get yourself a little bin, dig a hole in the garden, and the soil will really thank you for it. And any grey water or any extra water, keep in a bucket and reuse. Water your plants, tip it back into the soil. You know, just really think mindfully. Shopping bags, I use cotton natural shopping bags, and I try to remember to leave them in my car or my bike if I go out. I also wrap food in beeswax wraps, so they're really cool, aren't they? And they're everywhere. And I always buy second hand, so a lot of my stuff is all thrifting, and I do alter and reuse lots of clothes. And just be really mindful about whether you actually need the things that you're buying. Don't get brought into the commercial adverts, you know, don't get brought into things that you think you need. Ask yourself, do I actually really need what it is that I'm just about to consume? Are there areas that you can improve on? And remember though, don't be hard on yourself. This is such a learning experience. And if you pick something up by mistake, just learn from that. But also share with your family. So I recently contacted my family members and said, no more gifts. Please don't send me anything. I would actually rather it be donated to a charity, or maybe something that I actually can really use and that I've run out of and I need replacing. So make sure your family are on board with you too. So yeah, don't get sucked into consumption because it's just not worth it. So the things to remember are reduce, reuse, recycle and refuse. All right, so use those 4 R's. Think about it, think about what you're doing, and let's get together guys and just make an impact on the environment. Just because we have to use all this plastic as diabetics doesn't mean to say that we can help it, and it doesn't mean to say that we can help the environment in other areas. And just try to do the best you can. There's no judgment here. So I hope you enjoy your little tips from me. My final tip actually of the day is, if it's yellow, let it mellow. Yes, we are talking about the toilet. Do you really need to keep flushing that toilet every time you go to the toilet for a wee? No, you don't, do you? Myself and my partner, we have an agreement that, yep, if it's yellow, let it mellow, and we definitely minimise our flushing. So think about those statistics at the very beginning and what it is that you can do. And get out there, have some fun with it, be really mindful, and I hope to see you all very soon. I love you all. Bye.